it to your calculator. Calculator language does not work on a test. You can't say binomial PDF and write it in. They don't. That doesn't tell them that you know what it stood for. So they're going to want you to set it up. So let's go back now to this scenario. Back to the quiz. And let me write this one in black. First one was find the probability x equals 5. Is it a particular, a specific one, or is it a cumulative? It's a particular because it's equal, right? So it's a particular number. So I'm going to do binomial PDF or CDF? PDF. How many test questions did you have? 5. What was the probability of success? 0.2. How many are we talking about? He succeeded 5 times. Hit equals 3.2 times 10 to the negative 4. We right? There you go. What about this one, the second one? When it's less than or equal to 4. I want 4 on down, right? So think of it as kind of a number line, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. I want this one, and this one, or 2, or 1, or 0. So you could do a specific for 5 if you want to, or do 4 on down. I've set up 4 on down. So what do I do on my calculator? Binomial PDF or CDF? Why is it C? Because it's cumulative. I'm doing plus, 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 plus. It's cumulative, so CDF. How many questions? 5. Probability of success on a quiz? 0.2, because there were 1 out of 5 quiz questions. And how many are we talking? 4. Type it into your calculator. 0.99968. Does it surprise you that it's a really high probability that you're going to get 4 or less correct? You can get 4 or 3 or 2 or 1 or 0. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. So then what about the probability that x is greater than 1? CDF always finds from there on down. So what do I want to find? Binomial PDF or CDF? C, because it could be 1 or 0. But what do I have to do, 1 or 0? Subtract it from 1. Right? Isn't that what you did here? This part right here? You did 1 on down, 0 on down. So binomial CDF. There were 5 questions. Probability of success is 0.2. I succeeded 1 on down to get more than 1. And what do we get?
0.26, 272.
So 0.27, do we have a second on that?
Yeah.
0.27.
Well,
0.26.
it's 0.26272, so
0.26 then.
yeah.
Questions on binomial? It's the rule, which is on your College Board sheet. There's a shortcut to it. You got to decide if it's PDF or CDF. There are 4 rules: success or failure, set number, you got independence, and they all have the same probability. Those 4 rules are what we got to remember as well before we can even decide if we're going to do a binomial. All right, so what if I go back to this one? Actually, let's do this. What if I want to find the probability? Let's do this. Let's just make this less than 3. Do a different color. Let's just make this less than 3. What is the probability of getting exactly 3 girls if a couple had 5 kids? Let's just assume the probability is 0.5 and 0.5, okay? Probability that x is less than 3, which is what? 2, 1, or 0. Not 3, 2, 1, or 0, because it's less than 3. It's just 2, 1, or 0. So I've got to do 5 choose 2 times the probability of success 2 times, probability of failure 3 times, or 5 choose 1, succeeded once, failed, oops, my bad, succeed is 0.5. Succeeded once, failed 4 times, plus 5 choose 0 times 0.5 to the 0 times 0.5 to the 5th. Okay, so in that case, I could write out the whole thing. Plus. What's the setup on my calculator? Binomial. You sure it's binomial? Probability of getting a girl. Success or failure? You gotta test the 4 rules. Boy or girl?
Yes.
Right? So success or failure. Is there a set number?
Yes.
5 kids. Is one child independent of the other? What comes out? Boy or girl? Sorry. Correct. They're independent. What am I missing?
Equal
All
probability.
same probability? Yeah, it's a 0.5 no matter each child has a 0.5 chance. Okay, so CDF, right? Isn't that what you said?
Yep.
How many kids? Out of how many? 5. Probability of success is 0.5. Comma what? If I said less than 3, we are finding 2 on down. A lot easier to type that in your calculator than type all of this in. On your homework and on your test, you're going to, and do this on your homework, because otherwise you're going to go, ooh, I'm not sure where I made a mistake. You can quickly check. It doesn't take very long, and the more you write it down, the more it's going to burn in your brain. You're going to be able to think, which direction am I talking here? And why is it PDF versus CDF? Is it greater than or less than? Does it include it? Just all these different possibilities. What do we get for probability? 50?
Yeah.
0.5 exact? Questions on PDF versus CDF? Tomorrow we move on. So this is not something that you just kind of take lightly and sit back and go, yeah, I think I got it, and not do your homework. You're really going to want, we move through this section pretty quick. Okay, so go home, practice your assignment tonight. We'll go over your questions tomorrow, and then I expand on this right away tomorrow. Okay, because what if we got a huge sample of 2,000? Do I really want to do a binomial? 2,000, or 1,999, or 1,998, really? There's got to be a better way to do it. And that's what we're going to learn tomorrow.
Now this is just another kind of test verification. It says verify that you can do a binomial distribution, and obviously we did that just kind of verbally.
Yep.
Again, test, you probably want to write that out. Now another thing for test is, can we just write out the first 2 processes and kind of do the ... and you know that we're thinking.
You mean this?
Yeah.
That's all I need. I just need 2 and then do plus ... Because what I do is I look, did they set up the first one right? And did they go in the right direction to set up the second one right? And a lot of people mess up here on this 2 and the 1.
Switch it.
Or they mess up in here. They mess up on the numbers.
Okay.
Good.
You don't have to write out
No, just do plus ... Questions? Assignments up on the board, 6.3, page 403. Number 61, 65, and 66. I believe that goes back to 6.2. And then 69 to 77 odds, flip ahead, that'll be 6.3. I really suggest you do this one. Don't fall behind on this, because I teach something new tomorrow, and then I teach something new on Friday. And if you're not getting them over these, and then we take some time to regroup and look at everything. So the next 3 days, I'm heavily suggesting. Good. And make sure you have your calculators.